Hi, this is a garden bed. It's 6 by 3 by 1 foot. So I finished assembling this about 2 weeks ago. And I'll take you on a quick little tour of our garden with the garden beds. Each one of these is the exact same. These other ones we actually installed about 3 years ago. It was like a COVID project. As you can see, we're still using it. Even though there's a bit of rust emerging and some of the paint's coming off on them, they're still working just fine. I probably would say it's got maybe another 2 years on it before it really starts falling apart. So at the end of this year, I'm going to probably have to sand it down a little bit and then apply a new coat of paint. So while the paint is kind of coming off and it's rusting, the actual structure is still fine. I would say that it's easy to assemble, but it takes a lot of time. And there's just like a lot of screws, a lot of parts to it. So let's take a look. Each one of these is held together with a machine screw and some sort of nut. And this piece right here is plastic. The rest of it's metal. And in between right here, there's actually 2 bars that go across from here to here, and they kind of hold this whole thing together. So it has gives it a little bit more rigidity. And the main reason why we went with a raised bed versus just planting it in ground is because we have a lot of grass here. That's number one. And number two is we're on a slope. I'm not sure if you can see that here, but it's angled all the way down. And what I've done is I've actually leveled these beds out. So there's a nice aesthetic to it, but they've actually worked really well. As you're setting up your garden bed, you kind of want to pick which direction it's going to be heading in. South is that way, and so we have that sunlight coming in this way. And what we do is it's kind of offset such that taller plants in the back right here, and you have I guess the lower plants in the front. So these are peppers over here, and these are tomatoes. And eventually the tomatoes will grow pretty large, but the peppers will probably grow maybe no more than like a foot or two high. And just in general, the way I think about these garden beds is I kind of break it up into a grid. And you can see even with these tomato cages right here, it's a good way to kind of break things up. So there's kind of 8 large plants that take up space in here. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll give you an update pretty soon on the garden. It's pretty exciting. We have a lot of stuff growing this year.